thought it wasn't connected, but I am. Asexual reproduction generates offspring that are genetically identical to a single parent. Sexual reproduction, two parents contribute genetic information to produce unique offspring. Okay, so when we saw the other lizards in that photo, the lizards in that photo, the two flanking the center one are from a species that has males and females. It said males because, and it didn't mention females, but that's understood because of the fact that they reproduce by sexual reproduction. And the one in the center is asexual, so it basically is one animal that has only female offspring that are genetically like her, either diploid or haploid, so either half a clone or a full clone of the parent, right, the mother. So again, there are many interesting things. First of all, that is a hybridized lizard. It's not created. It wasn't created by God that way. It evolved. Okay. So many people don't like the word evolution. I don't know. I think there are some animals that probably like that animal. I would say that's evolution. It was not created, right? So you can call it whatever you want, but it wasn't created as an asexual animal. Is pollination a form of asexual reproduction? Somebody asks. Plant reproduction, or I guess that's the subtitle. Plant reproduction is the production of new individuals or offspring in plants, which can be accomplished by sexual or asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction produces offspring by the fusion of gametes resulting in offspring genetically different from the parent or parents. Right, because that's what happens when you have reproduction, sexual reproduction. Okay, what is the advantage of asexual production? We'll see if there's any advantages. Asexual reproduction generates offspring that are genetically identical to a single parent. In sexual reproduction, two parents contribute genetic information to produce unique offspring. Right. Sexual and asexual reproduction have advantages and disadvantages, which is why some organisms do both. Okay. So why didn't they tell us more about asexual reproduction than that? Let's see this one. So sexual reproduction requires both a male and female. So anywhere you read that the animal reproduces by sexual reproduction, then you know there's a male and female in the species. Okay. It's only the asexual ones that don't have males and females. But there are examples where the animals switch between both, right? We already discovered that. They can reproduce either way, sexually or asexually. But in the long term, over several generations, lack of sexual reproduction compromises their ability to adapt to the environment because they do not benefit from the genetic variation introduced by sexual reproduction. So that in a nutshell tells you why it's kind of like hybrids. Hybrids don't sometimes even have viable offspring, right? Like zebras and horses can mate, but their offspring may not be able to reproduce. They would be sterile. Or donkeys and mules, horses and donkeys I think have mules, and mules usually can't reproduce because they're sterile. Anybody can correct me if I said something wrong. I don't mind. Syngamy and conjugation. So I remember studying something like this in high school. That was a long time ago. Okay, so disadvantage here for sexual reproduction is that there is no variation. If the parent has a genetic disease, the offspring does too. Requires 2 organisms, requires more energy. Takes more energy to have kids, I guess. That's what they're saying. Instead of just doing an artificial insemination or something. If you're a human, it's equal to like cloning yourself. It's just, well, artificial insemination is still, it's not sexual reproduction exactly, but the result would be the same, right? You still need 46 chromosomes to have a baby. Humans they haven't cloned a human yet. Thank God. I don't think it's a good idea. Sexual reproduction leads to genetic variation in new generations of offspring. This is fundamental to evolution. Sure. Okay, that's what they say. I don't believe everything that is written in science articles and so on, because they just jump to conclusions about everything. That's my opinion. People can comment if they want to. I think one complaint I have is that lay people like myself, we don't always understand these articles and arguments, and when an atheist says people can't read the Quran, they don't understand it in Arabic, well, at least try to understand it in English. Like Nate likes to hate, aka Nate talks to you, said something that was the opposite of what the Quran says, and then he claims that's what the Quran says. He said that the moon, is